EasyWay is the brand I hesitated so much before deciding to give it a try, but after that one purchase, every doubt I had about this battery changed. So today we'll talk about the 10 kilowatt EasyWay lithium battery. We'll talk about every interesting features and few things I think is not up to standard. First impression upon opening this thing up is wow. Packaging seems decent. The accessories packed in the box with this battery is actually where my conviction started. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chief Surgeon from Interdem. Now the first thing you see when you open up this battery is quality inspection reports, which the test comprises of charging test is 0.5C passed, discharge test is 0.5C passed, dynamic voltage spread under 150 millivolts. Now this dynamic voltage spread is actually the difference between the highest cell and the lowest cell. Resting voltage difference is 8 millivolts. Now this is also more like the dynamic voltage spread, but this one is a test that is actually carried out when the battery is resting, like the battery has rested for more than 4 hours with no current flowing through it, meaning it's not charging nor discharging. That test when the battery is at rest for more than 4 hours, the highest cell versus the lowest cell. The voltage dropped from 150 millivolts to 8 millivolts this time around. Internal resistance is 20 milliohms. SOC at shipment must be equal to or greater than 40%. Passed. So it passed all these tests. On paper, these are very good results. But do I need to remind you that these are EasyWay's internal QC signed off. I'm not saying those tests are fake, but then there are room for doubt because the test is not carried out by an independent third-party laboratory or whatever. The test might be accurate, but then who knows? Then we have the manual and 35 battery cable. Now, this battery cable speaks volume, honestly. When you are holding it, the feel at hand, when I'm holding it, I felt like I've never held a battery cable that is as good as this. The texture, everything, the cable locks just feels like is way more than the ones I've held before. And the communication cable with extra RJ45 plugs, which is for people that wants to do manual crimping. We all know that brands now are making us doing manual crimping, which some of them uses pin 7 and pin 8 for their RS485. I think most of them uses pin 7 and pin 8 for RS485. CAN is usually on pin 4 and 5 if I'm not mistaken. So it's there for us to use as much as we want. Some tiny cable locks and screws for the foot casters. Now the foot casters itself, I have to say this brand just wants to be different. All other brands uses tires. I think they just want to be different. I like it because rather than the regular tires that we have to unlock for the battery to move and just to lock for the battery to remain wherever it is, this one allows us to adjust the speed of movement. When you apply more pressure, you don't want the battery to move too much. So we can achieve that by adjusting this red knob or whatever it is. So when you adjust it, it pushes out the foot and the tire goes back up. Or if you want it to be leveled, that way the battery will move, but then the movement is going to be very, very slow, So I like the idea. All right, let's talk some real numbers before diving into the software. Capacity is 10.24 kilowatts. Usable energy is 9.63 kilowatts. That's about 94% of usable ratio. 51.2 volts nominal voltage with 44.8 to 57.6 volts range. The current is 200 amps. IP rating is IP20, strictly for indoors. Now to the software part. How does your battery communicate with the inverter? It has a CAN port with about 6 protocols: Victron, GrowWatt, SMA, Pylon, Solis, and Schroeder, I think. For the RS485 port, it actually has something called adaptive protocol recognition, which what it does is when you put this battery in RS485, it stays in auto mode and ready to speak with your inverter with whatever protocol your inverter is speaking with. So you don't need to bother yourself to change whatever it is which I think is a very good idea. Now, I love the fact that they specifically recommend dicey chain connection for battery paralleling, because to me personally, I don't know why installers, whenever they want to parallel more than 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries, they use the bus bar method. They take positive and negative from each battery to the bus bar. It makes it bulky. Unless you are using the long rail bus bar, I see no reason why people are using that. Just use the dicey chain method, which is positive and negative of master to positive and negative of slave 1, positive and negative of slave 1 to positive and negative of slave 2. So you do it like that, then you take positive from master and negative terminal from the last slave. That's the 2 that will go to the bus bar. You just have to make sure that the 2 cables are very thick, to be able to accommodate whatever current the entire bank needs. So I like the fact that they specifically state it here with a diagram that we are supposed to use dicey chain for their battery paralleling. This battery supports 20 units in parallel. Now, to the little things that matters. The RJ45 port comes with a protective cover. This thing might seem like something that is very insignificant, but to me and my team, it is actually very important to us, because most times at site, anytime we make the mistake of unboxing battery before finishing installation, particles used to enter those ports that will try to get it out. It's quite difficult to get it out sometimes, and if the battery is on, it can actually cause a breach, not most likely. So what we usually do is that we used to cover it with nylon so that particles will not enter, be it dust, whatever it is, or maybe we cut some flex cable and the strand fell into the thing, so we used to cover it with nylon. So this one here gets rid of that for us. Now, to the part where I think it just doesn't add up on this battery is number 1, the charge discharge current of the BMS is 100 amps. I don't understand why it's like that, which means the maximum you can pull from this battery at once continuously is just 5 kilowatts. I can't even use a 6 kilowatt inverter at full load. There are some times that when you're using a 6 kilowatt inverter, maybe during surge for just few seconds, maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, the inverter might be very, very close to the peak and it will come down. But then this battery is specifically telling us that we must use 5 kilowatts. So you can't use more than 5 kilowatts on this battery. If you use 6 kilowatts, you are just wasting resources, or let me say, you are using it for tolerance, which the battery will not allow anything to go beyond that anyway. And there is high chance that it's going to be tripping off this battery also. I reached out to the supplier and they were trying to justify it that, I don't know, all their justification, it just doesn't make sense. A 10 kilowatt battery must have charge discharge current of at least 150 amps, or let's even say 120 amps. Another thing I don't enjoy about this battery is the screen. I don't know why it seems old-fashioned. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And then the last thing is, at the back of this battery, I don't understand the purpose of these 2 rails attached to it. I thought it's for the mounting, but then this battery is not one mount. So why is it there? They should just remove it, because it kind of disfigures this battery. The front and everything is beautiful, but then I don't know what that's for. For the capacity test of this battery, it's going to be in another video, because I plan to do more than capacity test. We are going to do the charge discharge current test and every other thing. This is more like a sneak peek into the EasyWay 10 kilowatt lithium battery. So that will be all for now. Have you been using EasyWay? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and if you have any question, do let me know in the comment section. And if you are new to the channel, consider to subscribe. It will mean a lot to me, at least if you want to see me again. Share this video to your friend. Remember to turn on the notification bell. Catch you guys in the next one.